Good morning, students. Myself, Professor S.S. Gaikwad from Department of Chemistry, Anna Sahib Avte College, Mansar. Students, today we learn about a TYBSc Chemistry paper, semester 4th paper, paper 4, CS344, Analytical Chemistry. The CS344 means 3 means third year, 4 means fourth semester, and another 4 is fourth paper. The code is 344, third year, fourth semester, fourth paper, Analytical Chemistry. And from these paper, today we start chapter 2nd, that is chromatographic analysis. So, in the classification, we discuss three different types of classification. One, on the basis of interaction of the solute with the stationary phase. In that, there are again 4 different types: adsorption chromatography, partition chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, and size exclusion chromatography. The another type of classification of chromatography is on the basis of the physical state of the mobile phase. In that, we see again 3 subtypes. One is liquid chromatography, second is gas chromatography, and third is supercritical fluid chromatography. And in third type, that is which is based on the shape of the chromatographic bed. It is of again 2 subtypes: 2-dimensional shapes of the chromatographic beds and 3-dimensional shape of the chromatographic beds. Now we move on to the a model which is used to explain the principle of chromatographic separation, that is called as matchbox model. To understand the chromatographic separation or the principle of chromatography, a matchbox model is used. Matchbox model is used. In this matchbox model, both stationary phase and mobile phase are liquid and they are immiscible in nature. Immiscible liquid. So, in matchbox model, both the stationary phase as well as mobile phase are immiscible liquids. The matchbox model consists of 2 columns like this. It is assumed that it is having 2 columns, column 1 which is a stationary phase, Here the stationary phase, liquid stationary phase, is supported on an inert solid support and it is packed in column 1, and another phase, another second column like this. So, this is a column 2, it is a mobile phase. So, here we have 2 phases in contact with each other, liquid stationary phase and a liquid mobile phase. Liquid stationary phase is assumed as a column 1, while the liquid mobile phase is assumed as a column 2. Let us consider the stationary phase as the solvent 1 and mobile phase as a solvent 2. So here the stationary phase, consider it as a solvent 1 and the mobile phase as the solvent 2. Okay, so I will draw it again so we understand in details. So suppose we have a matchbox model which consists of two columns, column 1 and column 2, which are in contact with each other. Column 1 is a stationary liquid phase and column 2 is a mobile liquid phase. Column 1 is assumed as a solvent 1 and column 2 is assumed as a solvent 2. This is a stationary phase and this one is a mobile phase, and these columns contains number of boxes like this. And so on. Number of boxes are there in column 1 as well as in column 2. Now consider we have a mixture which contains two solutes, solute X and solute Y in equal proportion. Solute X and solute Y in equal proportion. So one proportion of X and one proportion of the Y. Now here three cases arises. Case 1, in case 1 we assume that X is completely soluble in solvent 1, that is in column 1 on stationary phase, and Y is completely soluble in solvent 2, that is it is completely soluble in the mobile phase in column 2. So when we place one box of solvent 2 over a column 2 and push it down by 1 unit, we get a complete separation of components present in the mixture, complete separation of X and Y like this. So here we get X completely remain on the first box of solvent 1 and Y remains completely in mobile phase in column 2 in solvent 2. So when we like this, so when we go on adding the number of boxes of solvent 2 on column 2 and push it down by 1 unit, the Y get completely separated from the X. X remains completely on solvent 1 and Y remains completely on solvent 2. Here we get 100% separation. So separation efficiency is maximum and spread out of the solutes is minimum. So this is the case 1. Now we move for the case 2. In case 2, it is assumed that neither X nor Y get dissolved in solvent 1, but both have solubility in solvent 2. So when we go on adding the number of boxes of solvent 2 on column 2, it will remain in solvent 2, but the mixture does not get adsorbed or get dissolved in solvent 1. So at the last we get the mixture of X and Y like this. Suppose we add one box of solvent 2 over the column 2 So here we get 1x, 1y. Nothing will get soluble into the solvent 1. Okay, nothing will go into solvent. So even though we add number of boxes of solvent 2 over the column 2, x and y remain with the solvent 2. So at the last we get the mixture of components. So we does not get a separation of the mixture of components in case 2. And now we move towards the third case, in which x is equally soluble in solvent 1 and solvent 2. So x is equally soluble in solvent 1 and solvent 2, that is, it is 50-50% soluble in solvent 1 and solvent 2, and the component y is 25%, having 25% solubility in solvent 1 and 75% solubility in solvent 2. So this is the last case, third case, where the component x is equally soluble, 50-50% soluble in solvent 1 and solvent 2, while the y is having 25% solubility in solvent 1 and 75% solubility in solvent 2. So when we add one box of solvent 2 over the column 2 and push it down by 1 unit, we get the figure like B. Here initially we have equal proportion of x and y. When we put one box over the column 2 and push it down by 1 unit, the picture is like this, where the x is 50-50% soluble in solvent 1 and in solvent 2. Okay. And y is 25% soluble in solvent 1, 1/4, it is 25%, and 3/4, that is 75% solubility in solvent 2. So this is solvent 1, or we can say the column 1 or stationary phase, and this is solvent 2 or column 2 of the mobile phase. Okay. Now again we put the distribution of the solute in the first box is like this. Now we put again one box of solvent 2 over column 2 and push it down by 1 unit. Now what will be the picture? The picture is like this. Like here we have in the first box, in the picture B, here we have 1/2 x and 1/4 y. Now when we put one box over this and push it down over column, one box of solvent 2 over column 2 and push it down by 1 unit, the box number 2, which is a fresh layer, comes in front of the box number 1 of solvent 1, and the box number 1 of solvent 2 having the distribution 1/2 x and 3/4 y. It comes in front of the box number 2 of solvent 1, which is a fresh layer. Now again the distribution will take place as I told you, that is the x will distribute 25% in solvent 50% in solvent 1 and 50% in solvent 2. So this 1/2 get distributed as 1 by 4x and 1 by 4x goes into the solvent 2. This 1 by 4y get distributed again in such a way that 25% of the component y remains in solvent 1 and 75% of component y goes or soluble in solvent 2. So here we get 3 by here we get 3 by 16 y and 1 by 16y and 3 by 16y, like this. Okay. Now this solvent, this solute 1 by 2x get again 50% solubility in solvent 1 and 50% solubility in solvent 2. So it gets soluble 1 by 2x gets soluble like 1 by 4x in solvent 1 and 1 by 4x in solvent 2. Similarly, this 3 by 4y again get redistributed, 25% of this goes into solvent 1 and 75% of this goes into the solvent 2. So here we get 3 by 16y and 9 by 16y. So the picture is like this. C, picture number C. Here we get 1 by 4x, okay, 1 by 16y, 3 by 16y. In the second box we get 1 by 4x, and here the 3 by 4 get distributed into two solvents in the ratio 3 by 16y and 9 by 16y. Okay, I think you understood this redistribution of the solutes in two solvents. Now come to the next picture, that is the D. Okay, again we place one box of solvent 2 over a column 2 and push it down by 1 unit. So what happens when we push it down 1 unit? Here we get the picture like this. Okay, so the picture is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what we get the picture? In front of the first box of solvent 1, we get this box, that is third box, this one new box. So here in the first box of solvent column 1, we have a solute concentration 1 by 4x and 1 by 16y, where in front of these, that is column 3, it is a fresh layer. So your solute get distributed in this fresh layer of solvent 2. Okay. Now here we have 1 by 4x and 3 by 16y. Okay, 3 by 16y. Here the column box 2 of column 2 solvent 2 comes in front. When we push down, it comes in front of this box 2 of solvent 1. So here we have 1 by 4x and 3 by 16y, and the box number 1 moves down and it comes in front of the box 3 of solvent 1 or column 1. So here we get 1 by 4x and 9 by 16y, isn't it? You are getting this? Okay. So here we have a fresh layer for the redistribution. So from these, x will distribute again 50-50% and y get distribute 25% in solvent 1 and 75% in the solvent 2. Similarly here 1 by 4x, here distribution of x takes place 50-50%, and 9 by 16y, the distribution of y takes place 25% in solvent 1 and 75% in solvent 2. Now here comes here, okay, here we have 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x. So the summation of these is 2 by 8, okay, or that is 1 by 4. 2 by 8, or we can, sorry. So here, yes, we have 1 by 4, 1 by 4. So here 2 by 4, 2 by 4, okay, 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Okay, so total concentration of X here, total concentration of X is 1 by 2x. So 1 by 2x get distributed between solvent 1 and solvent 2 in stationary phase, in mobile phase equally, that is 50-50%. So among these 1 by 2, 1 by 4 of x goes into solvent 1 and 1 by 4 x goes into solvent 2. Okay. So the picture is like this, 1 by 4x, 1 by 4x. Now 3 by 16 and 3 by 16. Here we have 3 by 16 plus 3 by 16. Here we have 6 by 16. These 6 by 16 y, total 6 by 16 y get distributed between the two layers, and we get 3 by 32 y and 9 by 32 y. Now comes here in box 1. Here we have 1 by 4x which is distributed into a box number 3 of solvent 2, which is a fresh layer. So it get distributed 50-50%. Here we get 1 by 8x and 1 by 8x here, 1 by 8x here, 1 by 8x here, and 1 by 16y get distributed 25% into solvent 1 and 75% in solvent 2. So distribution is 1 by 16y and 3 by 16y. Similarly here, similar cases here, 1 by x is here, and in front of that there is a fresh layer, a new box is there for redistribution. So 1 by x distributes as 50%, 1 by 8x here and 1 by 8x here, and this 9 by 16y distributes 75% remains in solvent 2 and 25% goes in solvent 1. So the distribution takes place is 9 by 64y and 27 by 64y. In this way, as we go on putting a new box of solvent 2 over column 2 and push it down by 1 unit number of times, the number of times redistribution of solute takes place between stationary liquid phase and stationary mobile phase. So there are number of times, like thousands of times or several times this redistribution takes place. So here is another picture E, where after 5 distributions the picture is like this. Here you can see the Y, concentration of Y in solvent 2 is going on increasing, while the concentration of X goes on increasing in column or in solvent 1. So as we go on adding the boxes over column 2 and push it down, the concentration of solute X goes on increasing in solvent 1, that is, it goes on increasing in stationary phase, while the concentration of Y goes on increasing in column 2 in solvent 2, which is a mobile phase. So Y moves ahead, so it comes first from the column and X comes later from the column. In this way the separation phenomenon takes place in chromatographic analysis. So this is the basis of separation of chromatographic analysis. I think you understood the matchbox model clearly. Today we stop here. In next lecture we see the theoretical plate concept of theoretical plates and column efficiency, and one more topic we see, that is a column chromatography. Thank you very much.